I really like your shirt. So congratulations for being part of this Holy Shirt Festival.
Thank you.
You mix these two elements that are death and ramen in a dark comedy. So what's the story behind the project?
Film is called Death and Ramen. It's about a ramen chef who is severely depressed, and he botches his suicide, but the Grim Reaper shows up at his door anyway. So it sort of becomes like a comedy of errors between these two characters, and this chef spends his final evening alive kind of hanging out with the Grim Reaper, and he shares a bowl of noodles with him, and it's sort of like a dark twist on a buddy comedy.
The film is starring also by Bobby Lee and Matt Jones. Did you picture them since the beginning, or how was the casting process?
Yeah, so I actually wrote the film for Bobby, and was totally resolved to have him be this character, because I'd never seen him act in anything serious and sad. Of course, I wanted to utilize his comedic presence in the film, but I never saw him do something that was raw and had a sort of darker and more honest dimension to it. And I didn't know like anybody who knew him. And so I was, over the span of a few months, incessantly reaching out to him. Eventually, he responded to my script, and decided to do it. And he was super kind with his time. And yeah, in terms of Matt, turns out that they were friends from like comedy troupes, like about like a decade prior to when we shot. And I didn't know that. I just had always thought that Badger was like my favorite character in Breaking Bad. And I wanted him to kind of play Death. I thought that would be a really interesting take on Death. And having had Bobby involved in the project, it was already pretty easy to get Matt involved. And so the two of them had a lot of rapport on set too, and it was great to have the both of them.
I know you wrote this story after you lost your grandfather, and even though it's also like a love life letter.
My intention in the beginning was to make something hopeful, but that still had levity. And I didn't see anything that did that before in like modern movies. What I found was that movies that addressed like mortality as a theme are either completely ironic, like slapstick comedies, like sort of like Monty Python, or very self-serious, like almost like straight drama pieces. And I didn't have anything that kind of met in between, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted to make something that was sincere and a love letter, as you said, and also something that was quite just gentle, you know? Because that's my take on mortality. And yeah, I just wanted to make what I wanted to see. And if I were to have seen that during like this healing process, it might have helped. So I wanted to sort of pass this on to other people in a way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All the film happens at night in so many locations, as the restaurant, the rooftop, the street. I would like to ask you, which one was the biggest challenge in terms of cinematography?
Biggest challenge? The whole film was a challenge. We shot on a bridge in Chinatown, where like we sort of blocked off a section of the bridge, and shooting that was quite technically complicated. I just felt like getting that bridge was really important to me, because visually it was just so stunning to have like the sort of grandness of like him passing this bridge at nighttime. And I just thought that there was something metaphorical and also comical about like him carrying Bobby, you know, Death carrying Bobby on his back. That was very difficult because we got met with like a lightning storm in Los Angeles, which, as you know, never happens. And weather is always a bitch, and this is no exception.
Where the people can see your short? Is gonna be in other festivals, or?
Yeah, we're gonna be playing at Nashville Film Festival next, Calgary in Canada. We'll be playing in Bend Film in Oregon, and a few more that escape me. If you follow us on Instagram, Death and Ramen Film, you'll be able to find us with like updates is where you'll see it next. But we hope to sort of bring it available online by the end of the festival run.
Are you working new scripts or new projects?
I'm actually working on the feature film version of Death and Ramen. As it stands right now, it's currently untitled, but I hope to sort of dive deeper into, this narrative of like a comedy starring the Grim Reaper, a comedy that is sincere and a comedy that sort of goes deeper into what I want to say.